afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this Tuesday. Good day to be a cat owner.
Yeah, that's true. Although I don't know if we're getting used to it or the sunshine helps. It didn't feel as bad as you'd think today.
No, I think the sun helped a little bit, and it wasn't quite as windy, but it is bitterly cold today, and it's more of the same tomorrow. Our Dana Fulton is in the backyard braving the cold for us, and she's got your certified most accurate forecast.
Also coming up today at 4, we now know when we'll see Chandler Halderson again in court. We'll have the latest on his upcoming sentencing hearing.
And no gun, but still possibly facing charges. We'll share what we learned today about the situation with a Middleton teenager that led to a high school lockdown. Let's take a look outside. Here's somebody braving the elements. A couple people.
Yeah, great day for that. The trails are in good shape.
Right, and you can kind of warm yourself up. But we're not done yet. Dana's in the backyard. How low is it going to go?
Yeah, if you thought this morning was cold, guys, it's going to drop even more for us. You're right, though. This afternoon, it does seem like we're kind of getting used to it at this point. Sunny skies over Platteville right now. Plenty of snow on the ground. Temperature-wise, in the single digits, about 5 for Mineral Point in Madison. Wind chills, though, below 0. Currently feels like about 7 below in Madison, 11 below for that wind chill in Mineral Point, and 13 below 0 in Lone Rock right now. So no arguing that it is bitterly cold outside, not just for southern Wisconsin, but throughout the northern Midwest, especially for areas northwest of us towards La Crosse and the Twin Cities, also dealing with very cold temperatures. So because of this, tonight we yet again have wind chill advisories in effect until noon on Wednesday. Wind chill warnings off to the west. It is going to get colder for us tonight. In fact, temperatures expected to drop to the 15 to 20 below range for Wednesday morning. Wind chills possibly down to 35 below 0. So absolutely getting to that dangerous level early in the day. Afternoon temperatures will be in the single digits. Our temps will slowly rise through the afternoon and evening, so we'll reach our daily high later on Wednesday. As far as traffic is concerned right now, definitely need the sunglasses. It is bright and sunny outside. A little snow blindness right now out on the patio. East and westbound along the Beltline. No major delays. Few slowdowns eastbound for us. So you look closer to Fish Hatchery Road. 3990 north and southbound smooth through Rock County. From the Beltline to Janesville, 25 minutes. 16 minutes to get from Middleton to Sauk City. And downtown to Sun Prairie, 17 minutes for us this evening. Admittedly, it wasn't that cold when I first got out here, but now it is a bit chilly. So I'm going to come inside and we'll look at your full forecast in just a few.
All right, come on inside. Thank you, Dana. Well, as Dana mentioned, it's going to be one of the coldest nights of the winter so far. It's impacting schools here in southern Wisconsin.
Charlotte Deleste tells us what some of the districts in our area are planning. Charlotte?
Well, Susan and Mark, Dana told us about the bitter cold temperatures and wind chills forecasted for tomorrow morning. So we contacted several districts today asking about their plans tomorrow. We are now up to more than 34 cancellations or delayed starts tomorrow. Others are waiting. However, one thing all the districts have in common is that there will be no virtual learning if there is no school unless otherwise stated. Oregon will cancel or issue a late start if a wind chill warning is issued. Wanakee says it will use a snow day tomorrow if they close. Janesville has extra hours already built into the school calendar to accommodate delays or even cancellations. Madison has not replied to us, but did send an email out to families about the possibility of no school tomorrow. You can see an updated list of these school closings and delays on channel3000.com.
Charlotte, thank you. A sentencing date has been set for Chandler Halderson, the man convicted of killing and dismembering his parents last year. Online court records show Halderson has a sentencing hearing scheduled for 1:30 p.m. on March 17th. Last week, a jury found Halderson guilty of all 8 charges he faced stemming from his parents' murders. The jury deliberated for roughly 2 hours before reaching a verdict. He faces up to life in prison due to the first-degree intentional homicide charges, but a judge could decide if he'll have the possibility of parole.
The Middleton Police Department says the student taken into custody after a lockdown at the high school yesterday could face a disorderly conduct charge, even though he did not have any weapons. Police and the district locked down the high school around 12:30 yesterday. Police say a staff member told a resource officer the 15-year-old student may have had a gun. That's also an update. Police yesterday said the student was 16. The student did not have a gun when they were taken into custody, and no weapons have been found anywhere. News 3 reached out to district officials with many questions about yesterday's lockdown, and we will share those answers with you tonight at 5 and 6. The decision process begins now for the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers.
The quarterback made another appearance on the Pat McAfee Show today as he begins an off-season of uncertainty. Eric Franke has more now on Rodgers, how he's approaching the days and weeks ahead. Eric?
Well, some good insight from this interview and a roadmap perhaps from Rodgers. Says he owes it to the organization and teammates like Davante Adams who are in contract years. They have decisions to make, and Rodgers plans to make his decision before free agency starts in March. And he says all options are on the table, even retirement. He says he's excited about what could come with a life after football, but he could play elsewhere as well or stay put, though the Packers do have some serious salary cap issues in 2022. But if you want him in Green Bay, he at least says his relationship with management has taken a big step forward since last summer.
There's not going to be any weird, standoff, war of silence or anything. It's, Brian and I have had good conversations throughout the year, and when it comes time to make a decision, we'll have a conversation, and that'll be that. It won't be a long, drawn out process, and I think that's what's best for me, for him, for the organization, and for all the other decisions that need to be made.
So Rodgers, now at 38, says the biggest thing is the commitment to being an NFL quarterback and all the things that come with it. Not just the physical, but the mental rigors as well. And one thing he does not foresee himself doing is leaving and then making a comeback. That just doesn't make sense to him. But he doesn't want to be halfway through next season, wish he had retired, nor does he want to retire and wish he was still playing. Now, based on what he said today, I'd look for a resolution in the next month or so by the start of free agency in March. Susan?
All right, Eric, thank you. Wisconsin's budget picture improved by nearly $2.9 billion that will force the Republican-controlled legislature to decide whether to spend the surplus, to save it, or put it toward tax cuts. The Republican leader of the Senate said that money would go toward tax cuts in the next budget to be written in 2023. Governor Evers did not immediately respond to a request for comment.
Today, Wisconsin became the 16th state to call for a convention of the states to consider making a variety of changes to the U.S. Constitution, a move that drew bipartisan opposition in the state Senate, but not enough to block its approval. The resolution had passed 15 states, mostly in the South, before Wisconsin became the first since Mississippi in 2019 to approve it. Congress must receive requests from 34 states to convene a convention of the states. Opponents argued that calling a constitutional convention could get out of control, leading to far-ranging revisions that could drastically reshape the nation's founding document. Assembly Speaker Robin Vos is refusing to say whether he'd support legalizing absentee ballot boxes in the battleground state after former President Donald Trump spoke out against it. Vos in 2020 voiced support for absentee ballot drop boxes while arguing against the collection of ballots in Madison parks by election workers. Republicans are working on election-related bills for consideration later this year. Wisconsin law does not currently authorize absentee ballot boxes, even though they were widely used in 2020. An issue that's the subject of ongoing lawsuits and a growing partisan divide.
Democratic U.S. Senate candidate Sarah Godlewski visited Belleville today as part of a 3-day campaign swing in rural communities in the state. Godlewski is currently the state treasurer and is one of several Democrats running to challenge Republican Senator Ron Johnson. Godlewski released a 5-point plan for rural Wisconsin today that calls for bolstering access to health care, help for family farms, and making broadband internet a public utility. Godlewski vowed that if elected to the Senate, she will ensure that Washington politicians hear Wisconsin's rural voices.
Rural folks want a quality of life, but sometimes it's these important things that they feel that they're being left behind. And Democrats don't often come to rural communities, and we want to change that.
A little bit of cheese. Okay.
Godlewski will also visit Coloma, Osseo, and Superior as part of her tour. She said if elected, she will seek a seat on the U.S. Senate Committee on Agriculture.
Incumbent Senator Ron Johnson is making stops around the state as well as he campaigns for another term. Today, he stopped by Quick Trip headquarters in La Crosse to visit with business leaders and meet with constituents. Besides answering questions about COVID treatments, he was also asked about the Democrats' attempt to change the filibuster rules.
If you want to do big things, if you want to make big changes, the United States Senate forces you to get a big majority. In other words, support from a broad base of the American public. That's the role of the Senate. I would never consider changing the Senate from that standpoint at all.
Senator Johnson will be in Outagamie County tomorrow visiting Team Industries and a Catholic school.
The Dane County Sheriff's Office is investigating the death of a man who was found at a Westport home yesterday. Officials say the 32-year-old was a member of the jail's Custody Alternative Monitoring Program and was serving a sentence for felony bail jumping. The man was found unresponsive at a home on County Highway I. An autopsy is scheduled for tomorrow. The name of the man has not been released.
Well, scientists now believe Saturn's innermost moon may be hiding something. Water. Until now, it was thought Mimas was solid ice. NASA researchers have taken a closer look at oscillations in its rotation, and now they think there may be an ocean buried under the moon's icy surface. That would bring it in good company with other moons containing underground oceans, including 2 of Saturn's other 82 moons and 1 of Jupiter's. Even though Mimas's ocean is encased in ice, scientists say it still might support life because of the large 80-mile-wide crater on its frozen surface. Mimas is best known for its resemblance to the Death Star in the Star Wars movies. That's pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
82 moons. I didn't realize that. Well, some visitors to Madison from up north, way up north, are causing a lot of excitement.
We'll find out why a number of snowy owls are visiting Madtown this winter. That's when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, Live at 4.
I was a Navy submariner for over 20 years. I spent a large portion of my life underwater. Service is about putting your country before yourself. But Senator Ron Johnson uses his office to serve himself. Ron Johnson passed a special tax break that benefited his family's business, then cashed out of the company for $5 million. Ron Johnson has doubled his wealth since he's been elected. That's not what service is about. Tell Ron Johnson to stop voting for tax laws that benefit himself.
Got my hair, got my head, got my brains, got my ears, got my heart, got my soul, got my mouth. All I
For skin that never holds you back, don't settle for silver. Number 1 for diabetic dry skin. Number 1 for psoriasis symptom relief. And number 1 for eczema symptom relief. Gold Bond, championing your skin.
You don't know how much pressure you put on your septic system, but Rid-X does. In a 21-month study, scientists proved that Rid-X reduces up to 20% of waste buildup every month. Take the pressure off with Rid-X.
Reynolds Wrap makes this whole cooking and cleanup thing so easy. Speeds up this so I can get to them.
Easy prep, cook, and clean with Reynolds Wrap.
What are you recommending for muscle pain?
Based on clinical data, I recommend Salon Pass.
Agreed. My patients like these patches because they work up to 12 hours, even on moderate pain.
Salon Pass, it's good medicine.
Bring new life to your home with paint and lighting from Menards. Lithonia Lighting, new construction recessed housing is easy to install. Right now they're on sale for $6.99 each. Finish the project off with paint from Dutch Boy. Dutch Boy Platinum Plus paint is a paint and primer in one with exceptional stain resistance and washability. A gallon of interior flat paint is on sale for only $29.96 after rebate now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
This year, there are more tax credits at stake than ever before. Thousands more. The tax pros at Jackson Hewitt will help track down every last dollar. Jackson Hewitt is here to make sure you don't miss a single deduction, so you can get your biggest refund guaranteed.
Consumer Cellular has the best customer service.
They care about the customer.
The best price with the best quality.
The prices, the coverage.
The coverage is great.
It was the same, if not better.
Consumer Cellular provides the exact same premium coverage as the nation's leading carriers for half the cost. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get talk, text, and data starting at just $20 a month.
It's like 4 scoops of ice cream for the price of 1.
Switch today and get a 100% risk-free guarantee. Call or go online.
Welcome back, everyone. No more number 2 pencils.
The College Board has announced the SAT is shifting to an online format. The standardized college entrance exam is going digital for American students in 2024 and international students in 2023. It'll still take place in a proctored setting, but students have to bring their own computer. The changed format shortens the test from 3 hours to 2 hours. The College Board says the new exam uses adaptive learning to reduce the time students spend answering questions that are too easy or too hard. Students will also get the results back within days compared to weeks with the previous format.
End of an era. Well, Neil Young will keep on rocking in the free world, but maybe not on Spotify. The 76-year-old musician asked his managers and record label to remove his music from the streaming platform. He is upset because Spotify also hosts the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. Rogan is an outspoken critic of COVID vaccines and has made many inaccurate claims about them. Young has since removed yesterday's post on his website asking for his music to come off of Spotify.
Beijing Olympics organizers are keeping up with the tradition of making condoms available to athletes. Despite detailed social distancing guidelines intended to curb the spread of COVID-19 within the closed loop in which the games will take place, in the playbook measures, athletes are instructed to minimize physical interaction such as hugs, high fives, and handshakes. Also, they're encouraged to maintain a social distance of at least 6.5 feet from fellow competitors. The games are set to start on February 4th in Beijing.
The red-hot housing market might finally be starting to cool. Home prices rose over 18% year over year in November. That's down from a 19% increase in October. The numbers are according to the S&P CoreLogic Case-Shiller U.S. National Home Price Index. Despite slowing gains, November's increase was still the 6th highest in 34 years. Prices in 19 cities also saw all-time highs. Phoenix, Tampa, Miami, Las Vegas, Dallas, and San Diego topped the list.
Well, stocks closed lower despite reversals from session lows. The Dow Industrials gave up 66 points, closing at 34,297. The NASDAQ fell 315 points, and the S&P 500 fell 53. Well, birders and photographers have been flocking to downtown Madison the past few days.
They're all trying to catch a glimpse of a special visitor that's made Madison its temporary home.
Snowy owls are generating a lot of excitement. Stan Temple is our resident bird expert. He's a UW-Madison professor emeritus in conservation and a senior fellow at the Aldo Leopold Foundation. Stan, welcome back. Good to see you again.
Stan, good to see you.
Hi, thank you.
These owls have come a long way to be in downtown Madison, haven't they?
They have. Snowy owls mostly live year-round in the high Arctic, above tree line, up in the Arctic tundra, all around the world, actually, in Asia, North America. But occasionally, they have a problem, and that is that their principal prey in the Arctic are lemmings and small rodents, and they go through cycles. Sometimes they're very abundant, and when they are, snowy owls crank out bumper crops of young owls. But every couple of years, the rodent populations crash, and all of these owls that have been produced during the rodent high are pretty much in competition for a limited food supply, and many of them, especially young birds, head south looking for better hunting. And some of them come as far as Madison, or even further south.
Is it an unusual event that the snowy owls are here? It seems like we haven't seen them in a couple of winters.
Yeah, the big numbers, the eruptions as they're called, tend to happen about every 4 years. So 2017, there were quite a few owls around as well. So this winter, they're sort of right on schedule. But it's rather interesting. It's mostly young birds that come south. And if they make it through the winter and manage to get back to the Arctic, they will actually come south most years when they're adults. So, occasionally they set up what really resembles a migration, coming back and forth from the Arctic to southern areas.
We're seeing pictures. A lot of them are downtown on light posts and just on the snowbanks right by the Monona Terrace. They don't seem very shy.
Well, they live in the high Arctic where they don't see people and cars and really any sort of human activity. So they are very tame, which is great for getting a good view of them and taking photographs. But we should be respectful of their distance and not disturb them. They've made a long trip, and hunting is very different down here than it is in the Arctic. So it's best not to get too close, not to disturb them, especially not to get close enough to spook them.
How long will they be here?
Well, they'll be here pretty much through the winter, and we'll start heading back to the Arctic in about another 2 months.
So people still have a chance to go downtown and look for them respectfully, keeping your distance?
Yeah, and the Wisconsin has been visited by snowy owls quite regularly, and there's now I guess you could say a celebrity snowy owl that was banded up near Madison Audubon Society's Goose Pond up in Columbia County 2 winters ago. And she is carrying a very sophisticated tagging device that has a GPS system that records all of her locations throughout the year. And if and when she comes anywhere near a cell phone tower, it downloads all of the information. They nicknamed her Columbia. She's gone back and forth now from the Arctic down to the northern tier of the U.S. Twice. And she's now over in the Minnesota, North Dakota border area.
And you can actually follow that on the web, can't you? Isn't there a website where you can see where she's going?
You can. The project, it's called Project Snowstorm. And if you go to their website, which is simply projectsnowstorm.org, you can check in on Columbia, as they nicknamed her, and several of the other owls that have made trips back and forth to the Arctic.
Yeah, I checked it out earlier today. It is fascinating, and it is so much fun, and good for Columbia. And the guys here, we're going to have to nickname the ones around here, I think.
Yeah, I'm not aware that there are efforts to trap any birds in Wisconsin this year. There's another radioed bird over in eastern Wisconsin. Her name is Fond du Lac.
I guess from that area. Stan, great to see you again.
Thank you, Stan. So good to talk to you today.
You bet. You're welcome.
Well, still to come at 4, we'll look at the human toll COVID has had on people.
A look at pain and suffering through the lens of photographs. This powerful story is coming up after Dana's First Warn forecast.
To be a thriver with metastatic breast cancer means asking for what we want and need, and we need more time. So we want Kisqali. Women are living longer than ever before with Kisqali when taken with an aromatase inhibitor or fulvestrant in postmenopausal women with HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer. Kisqali is a pill that's significantly more effective at delaying disease progression versus an aromatase inhibitor or fulvestrant alone. Kisqali can cause lung problems or an abnormal heartbeat, which can lead to death. It can cause serious skin reactions, liver problems, and low white blood cell counts that may result in severe infections. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including breathing problems, cough, chest pain, a change in your heartbeat, dizziness, yellowing of the skin or eyes, dark urine, tiredness, loss of appetite, abdomen pain, bleeding, bruising, fever, chills, or other symptoms of an infection, a severe or worsening rash, are or plan to become pregnant or breastfeeding. Avoid grapefruit during treatment. Ask your doctor about living longer with Kisqali.
Fixed. No charge.
Ah, that's my son. He always takes care of his mama.
Ooh, what's up with Granny's casserole?
It's for after your Uncle Joe's funeral. My brother didn't have a life insurance policy.
I hear there's a collection to help Aunt Adele.
Yeah, a funeral costs north of $9,000 these days. That's a hefty bill for family to pay if there's no life insurance check to help.
Wow. Makes you think, doesn't it?
Which reminds me, I've been meaning to tell you, I got that $9.95 plan from Colonial Penn. I'm on a fixed income, so price is important.
The life insurance on TV.
Just $9.95 a month to help you pay my funeral expenses. What about your family, son? You've got a wife and kids, and a grandson living with you now, too.
Maybe I should get the $9.95 plan, too. Thing is, this has been a rough year for my business, Ma. Money's tight. Still, for $9.95 a month, I don't have a good excuse, do I?
I'm Jonathan for Colonial Penn Life Insurance Company. If you're age 50 to 85, just $9.95 a month buys whole life insurance with guaranteed acceptance. You cannot be turned down for any health reason. There are no health questions. Guaranteed lifetime coverage. Your insurance can never be canceled. Just pay your premiums. Guaranteed lifetime rate lock. Your rate can never increase. It's locked in as soon as you're covered and stays the same for the rest of your life. With guarantees like these, it's no surprise the $9.95 plan is Colonial Penn's #1 most popular whole life insurance.
Now don't forget, wear your good suit tonight. And please call about the $9.95 plan today while it's on your mind, okay?
Call now for free information.
Call 1-800-505-7613 for free information and your free beneficiary planner. No obligation. 1-800-505-7613. That's 1-800-505-7613. Call now.
Well, take a look at this. Guess what? It's cold in Chicago. Oh, really, Professor? Well, the frigid temps in Chi-Town turned the lapping waves in parts of Lake Michigan into a frosted field of tripping ice rings. The mysterious formation, sometimes called ice pancakes, are created when forming chunks of ice collide, creating elliptical-shaped discs with rounded edges.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Isn't that pretty?
I like pancakes. There's been some ice shoves on Lake Mendota. A lot of people have been sending us pictures, but not ice pancakes.
No,
like that.
no pancakes.
Yeah.
Nature's fun, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Well, cold is all we can say.
Fun, it's pretty, it's also cold. You're very, very right. Right now, it's a bit chilly outside, and it does look like overnight.
Little brisk.
Little brisk. Little nip in the air, if you will. Yeah. Layer up, guys. It's cold, and we aren't quite out of the woods just yet. The coldest night of the year so far, right around the corner. We'll look at your full 10-day right after the break.
Entresto is the #1 heart failure brand prescribed by cardiologists and has helped over 1 million people. It was proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto.
I like my smile. I like my smile after finishing the power swabs.
I think white teeth are absolute sexy magnets. I love it.
Power swabs have really made a huge difference on the entire quality and color of my teeth, and I'm very, very happy with them.
I've used strips and trays, and they both gave me really sensitive teeth for hot drinks, ice cream, anything hot or cold. Really, really sensitive teeth. With the power swabs, I've been using them for a week and nothing. I had hot coffee this morning and ice cream last night and no problems.
It is so fast. It is effective.
The great thing about power swabs is that it's just easy to use. To me, it's the best solution for teeth whitening on the market.
Introducing Power Swabs, the 5-minute stain removing and whitening treatment. Apply the Step 1 stain removing cleanser. Use the swab to get in between teeth, around edges, as the blue cleansing detergent is thin enough to get into pores to release stains. Open Swab 2. Duplicate the process. Instantly see up to a full 2-shade difference. That's powerful. Forget gooey trays. Save a fortune on electronics. Forget slippery strips. Imagine your teeth up to 6 shades whiter in a week. Call or visit us online now, and we'll send you the complete Power Swab system. 7 cleansing swabs. 7 Power Swab foaming whitening swabs. Thanks for celebrating hundreds of thousands of satisfied smiles. We're offering them to you right now for this incredible discount. We'll pay your shipping and handling. If you're not fully satisfied, even after day 1, return it for your money back. Laugh more. Smile more. Enjoy life more. Call right now or go online now, and we've been authorized for a limited time to include our on-the-go Power Swab Stain Out Quick Stick. It's a $19.95 value, free. With this complete offer, you are saving over 40%. Call or go online now. Brighten your smile and your life now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Mark and I were just talking about our dogs and keeping an eye on all the little ones and everyone really over the next about 24 hours or so, because we're not out of the woods just yet. It's still very cold outside. In fact, we're in for the coldest night of the year so far tonight and for Wednesday morning. A clear sky overnight will help our temperatures drop quite a bit, with wind chills falling down to the 20 to 30, even possibly 35 below zero range for us early Wednesday. And as we look ahead to Thursday, once the cold starts to back off just a little bit, we'll have the chance for some flurries building in. Doppler track is nice and quiet for us right now. As we look at our future track overnight, our breeze coming in from the northwest. Temperatures will fall well below zero overnight, down to the middle teens below zero to start off the day for Wednesday. And the afternoon, notice our breeze getting a little more of a southwest flow. Temperatures in the afternoon climbing up through the single digits. Overnight, we're close to 11 right around midnight. So we're warming up overnight. Temperatures right around daybreak on Thursday in the upper teens, and then afternoon high temperatures climbing closer to average on Thursday in the upper 20s, with a quick chance for some flurries passing through. Wind chills early in the day tomorrow, again, really in that 25 to 35 below zero range. It's going to be very cold in the morning, dangerously cold in the morning. In the afternoon, these wind chills will stay below zero. Even with a bit of sunshine and temperatures actually climbing above zero, it will still feel very cold outside. When we have our wind chills down so low, we're at that point, that dangerous level, where just 10 to 15 minutes outside with any exposed skin can really lead to some dangerous consequences. And as we were just mentioning, keeping an eye on everyone, super important right now, because a little slip, a little fall, something that could delay you outside, again, could really be dangerous. So that's all we want to keep in mind for tomorrow morning. Heading through the rest of the day, still very cold outside, but slowly getting better as we start to look towards, again, Thursday. An alert day in the forecast still for tonight and for Wednesday due to those cold temperatures, those cold wind chills expected. High temperatures tomorrow really happening late in the day. We'll be close to 11 right before midnight. Bitterly cold temperatures expected throughout the day. Now, once we get through that, a little more moisture building in for it next week. In our 6 to 10 day and our 8 to 14 day outlook, we're trending above average with our precip chances to start off February. That really lines up with what we're looking at in the 10 day for next week. Still cold outside for Wednesday, Thursday in the upper 20s, Friday in the teens with wind chills back below zero for Friday and Saturday mornings. We're back close to average to start off next week, with Sunday and Monday climbing back to the mid to upper 20s for afternoon highs. But by the middle of next week to start off February, a few more chances for precipitation will build in, and it's one of those events that could bring along some mixed precip with it, as we start to see high temperatures on Wednesday climbing up a little bit above freezing. So something that we'll be keeping a close eye again for next week once we get through this cold spell.
And on average, this is the coldest time of the year.
Oh, yes, end of January into February, correct.
32 will feel like 72.
It's going to feel really nice. I cannot imagine how many people downtown will be in shorts and a t-shirt.
That'd be like a 50-degree difference in temperature.
A big swing.
All right. Be careful out there.
Thanks, Dana.
All right, Dana. Over the past 2 years, the most serious effects of the COVID pandemic have happened mostly behind closed doors in private homes and hospitals.
A photojournalist turned nurse in Charleston, South Carolina, has been documenting the human toll of the pandemic in photographs.
CBS News national correspondent David Bagno has the story.
When Alan Hawes goes to work at the Medical University of South Carolina in Charleston, he brings with him a special ability, a talent, really, that he uses when he cares for the sickest of the sick COVID patients. He takes pictures of what you and I would usually never see. Because before he became a nurse 11 years ago, he spent 23 years as a newspaper photographer. And that gives him the ability to tell the stories of these patients.
This is a gentleman named Ryan Simpson. We had to send him emergently to our cardiac ICU.
And y'all believe COVID is what damaged the heart so severely?
Oh, yeah. His heart was beating so fast for many days that...
How fast?
135 to 165. And this is his wife, Sarah. So this is the first moment that she saw him that day, and was, I think, kind of taken aback by all the people in the room as they were preparing to take him to the operating room.
So many frontline workers have said to us, if only the public could see what we see. Well, Alan Hawes convinced the largest hospital in South Carolina to allow him to give sight to what those caregivers routinely see.
This is a woman who was very sick. She was with us for a long, long time, and her family brought in this prayer cloth.
The family wasn't able to visit, but this prayer cloth was sort of their representative.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened to the lady?
She didn't make it.
His pictures document COVID's grip as it tightens.
And he was totally there. As you can see, he's texting people on his cell phone, telling them what's going on.
But why did you want to capture this?
I felt like I knew where he was going.
And what happened?
This is what happened.
Oh.
So 2 days later, I walked in and there he was.
Vaccinated?
He is unvaccinated.
So you're now at a place, if I'm hearing you right, where you're like, c'est la vie, it is what it is. Don't want to get vaccinated, wind up here.
I have quite a few times had a patient who's unvaccinated, and I'll think to myself, you did this to yourself. But that doesn't last long. It's part of being a good nurse is having empathy. Once you hear the stories of some of our patients from their family members, you can become a fan of that person, and you just know that they made a bad decision.
You humanize them.
Yeah.
You're mad at them when they come in the door, and then you start to find out who they are.
I've had some really hard times with that. I mean, nurses are broken right now, emotionally.
Are you?
I feel like I am, yes.
Every time he gets permission to photograph, either from the patients or their family members.
I think people have a message that they want to get out there.
The mother holding a picture of the newborn she can't touch. This is Alan's colleague, a nurse. He's triple vaccinated, but a lifelong asthma patient.
With all due respect, this is one example where a picture doesn't actually do it justice.
No, it doesn't. This is a picture where I was like, man, I wish I had video.
Give me a second.
No, yeah, you slow down and...
Well, our producer was in the room with the video camera.
Breathing. I don't need anything else exacerbated anymore.
I do wonder whether some people are going to be like, put that camera down and pay attention, just like full-time nurse.
Yeah, well, when I'm doing that, they're not my patients. I don't take pictures of my own patients.
Finally.
This is Mr. Croxton. He had the heartstrings of about every nurse in our unit, I think, when he was there.
Joel David Croxton was 72 years old when he died. This was the nurse who broke down after she called his wife to tell her it was time to come in and say goodbye. His wife Sandy holding his hand. A nurse holding an iPad while a chaplain prayed with him. This was the picture of Croxton that worried Alan Hawes. Would it be too painful for his wife to see? Then again, Hawes usually never sees the families again.
Someone would like to see you.
On this day, they did. Alan Hawes saw Sandy Croxton again.
How are you doing?
This time they just held each other. No pictures needed. Just thank you to each other. David Begnaud, CBS News, New York.
Wow.
The power of pictures.
Absolutely. All right, coming up next on Live at 4, Consumer Reports helps us decide what clothing to donate, sell, or recycle.
When we come back, and then at 5 next hour, we asked the school district in Middleton some questions after the incident at the high school yesterday. Stay with us to hear what they had to say. Coming up at 5.
Your eyes, beautiful on the outside, but if you have diabetes, there can be some not so pretty stuff going on inside. It's true, with diabetic retinopathy, excess sugar can damage blood vessels, causing vision loss or even blindness. So remember this, now is the time to get your eyes checked. Eye care is important to your long-term diabetes management. See a path forward with actions and treatments from a retina specialist that may help protect against vision loss. Visit nowic.com and take charge of your sight.
Summer's coming, and so are those warm, relaxing weekends. No matter where your adventures take you, we've got you covered at the new Lake Home and Cabin Show, January 28th through the 30th at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison. Whether you're staying at a vacation rental, towing a teardrop trailer to sleep under the stars, or heading to a beloved family cabin, you'll find everything for your getaway lifestyle at the Lake Home and Cabin Show, January 28th through the 30th, Alliant Energy Center. Every weekend should be this fun.
The Washington swamp. Ron Johnson's up to his neck in it. It's no surprise Johnson broke his promise to only serve 2 Senate terms as his net worth doubled in office. Johnson pushed for a new tax loophole for the wealthiest Americans. personally benefited from the tax break, and 2 of his biggest donors pocketed millions. Ron Johnson's deep in the swamp, out for himself, not us. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
Keeping them safe and healthy, it's our #1 job. So even though we've all heard that the COVID-19 vaccine is safe for kids, we still have questions. That's why our family decided to get the facts on the COVID-19 vaccine for kids right away. And to keep taking simple safety steps as we learn more. Help your kids stay safe and in school. Learn more at dhs.wi.gov/COVID-19/parents.
Hello, I'm Gary Canoldi, inviting News 3 Now viewers to join me on an Alaska and Glacier Bay cruise August 9th through the 21st. We'll discover the cities of Anchorage and Fairbanks and enjoy a guided tour in Denali National Park. We'll also relax on a wonderful 4-night Holiday America Line cruise, including Glacier Bay National Park. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword WISC, to learn more about this tour and to watch a travel show. Or call 888-557-1020 for a free brochure.
Tonight at 5, new information in the investigation of the Middleton High School lockdown yesterday. News 3 Now is digging deeper for answers.
Tonight will be our coldest night of the winter. Even though winds won't be too brisk, with temperatures this low, wind chills at these temperatures could cause frostbite in only a few minutes. I'll tell you how cold it'll get at 5.
And ahead at 6, Omicron cases may finally be on a decline. Tonight at 6, we ask our medical expert, Dr. Pothoff, if we are past the Omicron peak. That's coming up tonight at 6.
Here's a live look at downtown Madison. At least the sun's out. That's all you can really say. Bitterly cold out there tonight.
Yeah, it's deceiving.
Well, maybe this is the year you'll finally clean out your closet to see what fits, what doesn't, and what fashion items you never want to see again.
And instead of tossing those threads in the trash, Consumer Reports has some advice on how to sell, donate, or recycle your old clothing. Here's Leah Linscheid.
After living overseas, Ain Stapleton has returned to her childhood home to clear out her closets.
I am making a pile of some sweaters that I haven't worn in a very long time.
According to the EPA, more than 9 million tons of clothes ended up in landfills in a year. Bad for the planet and maybe a lost opportunity to make some money. Consumer Reports says it's easier than ever to turn your unwanted clothing into cash.
I'm hoping to get rid of some of these online and sell them for pretty much as close to the original value I can.
There's a growing number of digital stores and phone apps tailored to sell anything you want to get rid of.
On sites like Poshmark and Vinted, you list your item at a price you choose and then ship it directly to the buyer with a prepaid shipping label. With ThreadUp and The RealReal, you send your unwanted clothing, bags, and accessories off to be sorted, priced, and listed for sale.
Whether they're online or in person, vintage and consignment shops won't take everything. Often it's because of the condition of the item or it's out of style. So if you can't sell it, but it's still usable, donate.
Goodwill, for example, collects and sells donated items to support education and job placement programs, and you might get a tax deduction. Ain found a local donation option for her old prom dresses.
Our local high schools will often say, we want dresses that maybe for students who can't afford a prom dress.
You can also share your stuff with people in your local community. Use the Free Cycle Network or Buy Nothing Facebook groups where members give and get free items. And if there's really no hope for your old items, recycle. You can check out earth911.com to find a textile recycling location near you. For News 3 Now, this is Leah Linscheid.
Thank you, Leah. And before you buy new clothing, some brands like Madewell, Levi's, North Face, Patagonia, and REI have programs to take back and resell your pre-loved, that's a good way to describe them, pre-loved items at a discount.
I got to do this.
Yes. You've got a lot of suits and ties.
I took some suits out of the back of the closet. There's cat hair on them. I haven't had a cat in 16 years.
Well, there's your sign.
There you go.
There it is.
Time to clean it out. All right, still to come at 4, there are signs the Omicron COVID variant may be on the decline in some parts of the country.
But how are we doing here in South Central Wisconsin? UW Health's Dr. Jeff Pothoff will join us with a coronavirus update when Live at 4 continues.
Winter in Wisconsin means snow, blustering winds, and sub-zero temperatures. Will your insulation keep your home warm? Fry Construction can always help. We're your roofing and insulation pros. We'll find cracks and air pathways in your insulation that are letting in the icy cold and hindering your comfort. With our thermal imaging and our cutting-edge insulation techniques, you'll be sure that your home will be warm and energy efficient for many years to come. Visit fryconstruction.com today and prepare your home for the long winter.
Had enough? No. Arthritis. Here, new Aspirin arthritis. Huh. Full prescription strength. Reduces inflammation. Thank the gods. Don't thank them too soon.
Kick pain in the Aspirin.
Fixed. No charge.
Ah, that's my son. He always takes care of his mama.
Ooh, what's up with Granny's casserole?
It's for after your Uncle Joe's funeral. My brother didn't have a life insurance policy.
I hear there's a collection to help Aunt Adele.
Yeah, a funeral costs north of $9,000 these days. That's a hefty bill for family to pay if there's no life insurance check to help.
Wow. Makes you think, doesn't it?
Which reminds me, I've been meaning to tell you, I got that $9.95 plan from Colonial Penn. I'm on a fixed income, so price is important.
The life insurance on TV.
Just $9.95 a month to help you pay my funeral expenses. What about your family, son? You've got a wife and kids, and a grandson living with you now, too.
Maybe I should get the $9.95 plan, too. Thing is, this has been a rough year for my business, Ma. Money's tight. Still, for $9.95 a month, I don't have a good excuse, do I?
I'm Jonathan for Colonial Penn Life Insurance Company. If you're age 50 to 85, just $9.95 a month buys whole life insurance with guaranteed acceptance. You cannot be turned down for any health reason. There are no health questions. Guaranteed lifetime coverage. Your insurance can never be canceled. Just pay your premiums. Guaranteed lifetime rate lock. Your rate can never increase. It's locked in as soon as you're covered and stays the same for the rest of your life. With guarantees like these, it's no surprise the $9.95 plan is Colonial Penn's #1 most popular whole life insurance.
Now don't forget to wear your good suit tonight. And please call about the $9.95 plan today while it's on your mind, okay?
Call now for free information.
Call 1-800-505-7613 for free information and your free beneficiary planner. No obligation. 1-800-505-7613. That's 1-800-505-7613. Call now.
I'm Express is the only place where you can count on same-day service. Thanks to our local labs, shop our huge selection and get quality glasses at a price you'll love. And see better today. Right glasses, right price, right now.
Good news, no accidents popping up right now in Dane County, though we do have a few slowdown spots on the Beltline, both east and westbound. Downtown Madison, also a few slow and go spots for us this evening, but Rock County looking pretty smooth for us throughout Janesville. That's a quick look at traffic.
All right, Dana, thank you. They grow up so fast, don't they? Internet sensation Fiona the Hippo turned 5 years old today. She stole everyone's heart when she was a newborn, seemingly smiling at the camera. She's still a cutie. The Cincinnati Zoo celebrated the milestone by making a cake of Fiona's favorite produce and snacks.
Just getting cuter.
Yes. All right, the World Health Organization says we can't let our guard down just yet.
The Omicron surge is starting to slow in a number of states, but has yet to peak in others, and that's challenging some hospitals.
UW Health Chief Quality Officer Dr. Jeff Potoff joins us once again for his weekly visit. Welcome back, Doctor.
Hi, Dr. Potoff.
Good to see you guys.
How are we doing here in southern Wisconsin? Have we peaked?
You know, maybe so. Our statewide data is suggesting that we may be coming off of our Omicron peak. And then to further kind of go along with that, statewide data is suggesting that hospitalizations are a little bit down. I'd say, here locally, Madison, at least our hospitalizations are still pretty high right now, but, hopefully we can join that trend soon.
Boy, that's encouraging to hear. Last week, we had 19,000 cases in one day, and a lot of people were wondering, well, maybe that was the peak. Were those numbers accurate?
I think there was an issue with how data was uploading within the state system that made those numbers not necessarily single day totals. So, I think in general, all those cases count, but they may not have all occurred on that same day. So I think it's fair to say that maybe we're coming off peak. Peak was probably last week, but maybe not to the same tune as some of those days would have you believe.
Are the testing rates still the same?
We're still seeing pretty high demand for testing. Lots of factors for that. Even though our rates are off peak, they're still really high. There's still like a lot of COVID in our communities. So there's still a lot of testing happening. And I think, there's other testing that's happening, whether it's for events that people want to go to, maybe vacations, folks who, maybe need a test to return to work or things like that. So I haven't seen much of a drop off in testing demand yet.
Why is the Omicron surge raging in some parts of the country and not in others?
I think you can imagine there's a lot of different geographical kind of features that happen. So the easiest one is the first place to get it. It spreads so fast that you're likely to be one of the first places to then, come off the peak. If you're like us in Wisconsin, where, we weren't seeing the big surge at the same time that, say, New York or DC where it was, then you come off a little bit, more slowly. And you're kind of seeing that play out across lots of municipalities, lots of states, and even in different parts of the world. You're seeing places that aren't near their peak of Omicron yet.
The numbers are high, but people are not getting as sick if they're vaccinated and boosted. Is that correct?
I think that's a good takeaway message is if you're vaccinated, including boosted, you're very well protected against severe disease or death, unless for whatever reason you're severely immunocompromised. I think those folks know, they follow a different set of rules. But we are seeing our vaccines and boosters do a really nice job against preventing hospitalizations and death.
The free at-home COVID tests are now available from the government. It's that covidtests.gov. You can get up to 4 free tests. They're taking a while to arrive. People who ordered them last week or even 2 weeks ago may not have them yet. But do you recommend that people sign up and get those tests?
I do. I think, some testing at home is better than no testing at home, and they can be really convenient. If it's Sunday morning and you wake up and you got a fever and a sore throat and you're like, man, what is this? Might be difficult to find a test outside of your home. If you're having those symptoms and you take that test and it's positive, you have your answer. You can isolate. You can kind of plan your day around it. So, not perfect. And there's some instances where if you think you have COVID and that antigen test is negative where you'd want to get a PCR, I still think they can be pretty helpful.
And a lot of these tests are going to be sitting in mailboxes in sub-zero temperatures. Is that going to affect the tests?
The answer to that is we don't exactly know. So when these companies develop these tests, they try to expose them to reasonable temperatures. Unfortunately, Wisconsin falls far into the unreasonable temperature category with these sub-zero temperatures. So it's possible that these tests, when they thaw, will work just fine and give you similar sensitivity and specificity. It's also possible that if they stay frozen and they thaw, that they may be a little bit less accurate than what the manufacturer originally designed them for.
Well, as the World Health Organization said, don't let our guard down yet. We're not out of the woods.
Yeah, I think, the news is looking good, but there's still some work to do.
All right, Doctor. Hopefully better news next week.
Yes.
See you next Tuesday.
Thank you, Dr. Potoff. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
And we'll have a final check of your forecast coming up.
Dry eye symptoms driving you crazy? Inflammation might be to blame.
Time for Ache and Burn.
Over-the-counter eye drops typically work by lubricating your eyes and may provide temporary relief.
Those will probably pass by me.
Xiidra works differently, targeting inflammation that can cause dry eye disease.
Xiidra? No!
It can provide lasting relief. Xiidra is the only FDA-approved non-steroid eye drop specifically for the signs and symptoms of dry eye disease. 1 drop in each eye twice a day. Don't use if you're allergic to Xiidra. Common side effects include eye irritation, discomfort or blurred vision when applied to the eye, and unusual taste sensation. Don't touch container tip to your eye or any surface. After using Xiidra, wait 15 minutes before reinserting contacts. Talk to an eye doctor about Xiidra.
I'd prefer you didn't.
Xiidra. Not today, dry eye.
Dirt's gonna fly at the Alliant Energy Center. The Monsters of Destruction, February 4th and 5th at 7:30 and the 6th at 2 p.m. Top monster trucks including Laminator, War Wizard, and Crazy Train, along with the insane action of freestyle motocross. Every ticket includes a pit pass for the pit party with drivers and riders, plus go for a ride in a monster truck. Get tickets and details at monstersofdestruction.com. Get revved up. The Monsters of Destruction, February 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Have you seen those small
careful with
Sorry, Missy.
Excuse me, could we...
Excuse me, I was wondering, could we...
Finding the right person for the job isn't always easy. But when you have an insurance question, you can always count on your local Geico agent. They can give you personalized advice and could help you save hundreds.
Who wants some dress shirts?
Correct expert help with all your insurance needs. Get to know your local Geico agent today.
Tonight at 5, new information in the investigation of the Middleton High School lockdown yesterday. News 3 now digging deeper for answers.
And bitterly cold temperatures and wind chills are expected tonight. I'll tell you how cold it'll get and how cold it'll feel.
Food delivery robots have taken off on UW campus.
The reaction's been great.
Mark King finds out how these quirky delivery pods work and why the campus community thinks they're out of this world. Thursday on News 3 Now at 6.
An alert day in the forecast still for tonight and for Wednesday. We have one more bitterly cold night, possibly the coldest of the season ahead before things start to get a little more seasonable by the end of the week. We'll be right back.
3 days only. Day Furs acquired over 500 new garments and cool weather accessories, and everything must go. Save 40 to 80%. Pre-owned furs starting at $49. All accessories 60% off at Day Furs this Thursday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
With inflation, everything costs more. It also means choosing between paying debt and paying your everyday expenses. At Geraci Law, we help fight inflation by eliminating or consolidating consumer debt. Get one lower payment you can afford as low as $275 a month. Keep your stuff, pay your expenses, control your debt. On your phone, from your home, or old school in person. 0 to start. Hit the debt-free button. Click or call now.
I just want our kids to be kids again. Play sports, go to school, without having to worry all the time.
So when we learned the COVID-19 vaccine is safe for kids age 5 and up,
we talked to their doctor, and she helped our family decide to get our sons vaccinated right away.
And to keep taking safety steps in public, too.
Help your kids stay safe and in school. Find a free COVID-19 vaccine for kids near you at dhs.wi.gov/COVID-19/parents.
Winter in Wisconsin means snow, blustering winds, and sub-zero temperatures. Will your insulation keep your home warm? Fry Construction can always help. We're your roofing and insulation pros. We'll find cracks and air pathways in your insulation that are letting in the icy cold and hindering your comfort. With our thermal imaging and our cutting-edge insulation techniques, you'll be sure that your home will be warm and energy efficient for many years to come. Visit fryconstruction.com today and prepare your home for the long winter.
Step into the new when you drive a Chevy. It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective. Meet new friends or reconnect with some old ones and find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Step into the new with a new Chevy. Very well qualified buyers can get 0% financing on most Chevy vehicles. Plus, current Chevy owners get an additional $750 bonus cash. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Wisconsin.
3 days only. Day Furs acquired over 500 new garments and cool weather accessories, and everything must go. Save 40 to 80%. Pre-owned furs starting at $49. All accessories 60% off at Day Furs this Thursday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
In today's Final Touch, we are one step closer to having a flying car.
It actually could be a reality within years. That's because of this air car. The prototype has been given an airworthiness certificate by the Slovak Transport Authority in line with European Aviation Safety Agency standards. Overcoming the safety hurdle means the car, which doubles as a plane, has now moved a step closer to reaching the market. The air car wings are fully retractable and currently has a 160 horsepower BMW engine with a fixed propeller and a ballistic parachute. That, so far, it's done more than 70 hours of test flights, 200 takeoffs and landings. It'll go 85 miles an hour on the ground. The vehicle is expected to cost around $600,000 to $700,000 if and when it hits the market. That's the closest we've come, I think.
Just fly right over the Beltline.
There you go. That's our time for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here again tomorrow. News 2 Now at 5 starts right now.